Before this video starts, promise me something. Promise you won't pause and check the return policy on your laptop, because if you do, you're gonna use it. 5 tablets, all cheaper than the laptop you overpaid for. One of them is basically a slap in the face to the entire computer industry. Let's count them down. Starting with number 5, the Lenovo Tab P12 Pro. This thing runs about $350 to $400, and that's the number that should sting if you just bought a laptop. 12.7 inches of OLED at 120 Hz. The colors pop in a way that makes your average IPS laptop panel look like it has a hangover. Lenovo threw in a keyboard case and a stylus in some bundles, pushing the total to maybe $450, and suddenly you're at a desk typing emails, and the whole setup looks and feels like a laptop that costs way more than this thing does. Now, is it perfect? No. The software is still Android trying to be desktop-ish, and sometimes it wobbles. But here's the thing. For the person who bought an $800 laptop to watch Netflix in bed, answer emails, and maybe edit a PDF, the Tab P12 Pro is doing all of that with a better screen and none of the fan noise, none of the heat on your thighs, none of that cheap plastic flex when you pick it up. It's solid, it's competent, and at roughly half the price of what you paid, it makes that laptop purchase look like you paid a premium for a worse experience. Moving to number 4, the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 FE Plus. This is where Samsung gets clever, and I respect it. They took the premium Tab S9 DNA, the design language, the S Pen, the big battery, and they trimmed the specs just enough to hit about $550 to $600, a price that makes laptop manufacturers nervous. The screen is still large, still smooth, still pleasant to look at. The S Pen is included, not a $130 afterthought like some other companies we know. And Samsung DeX, their desktop mode, has gotten genuinely good. I'm talking multiple resizable windows, proper mouse support, a taskbar. Is it Windows? No, but does the average person buying an $800 laptop actually need Windows? They need Chrome, they need Office or Google Docs, they need their stuff to sync. The Tab S9 FE Plus does that. It lasts longer on a charge than almost any laptop in its price bracket, and it weighs practically nothing. You can hold it for an hour reading articles without your wrist begging for mercy. Try that with a budget laptop. The build quality alone, this aluminum unibody, feels like it belongs in a higher price tier. Samsung knew exactly what they were doing here. They built the device that makes you question why you ever thought you needed a clamshell machine for light work, and they priced it to make that question hurt. Now we're getting into the serious stuff. Number 3, the Xiaomi Pad 6s Pro. Xiaomi doesn't mess around, and this tablet is the proof. You're looking at roughly $450 to $500 for the base model. Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, a 144 Hz 12.4-inch LCD that's so well calibrated it punches above its weight, and charging speeds that make laptop chargers look like they're from another century. 120 watts, dead to full before you finish your coffee. But the real story here is the keyboard accessory and the software. HyperOS, which is Xiaomi's take on Android, has desktop mode features that actually work. Windowed apps, keyboard shortcuts, a file manager that doesn't want you to make you scream. I used this thing for a full workday. Slack, browser with a dozen tabs, some light photo editing, video calls. It never stumbled, never got warm, never made a sound. And when I was done, I ripped off the keyboard and watched a movie on a display that, again, embarrasses most laptop screens under $1,000. The value proposition is almost rude. Xiaomi is showing you exactly how much markup is baked into those mid-range laptops. The materials, the engineering, the performance, it's all here for significantly less. The only reason this isn't higher is that brand recognition and after-sales support in some regions still lag. But purely on merit, this thing is a missile aimed at the laptop industry, and at this price, it's impossible to ignore. Number 2, the iPad Air M2. I know, Apple, but hear me out, because this is where the argument gets undeniable. The tablet itself starts around $600. That M2 chip is the same silicon running in laptops that cost twice as much. The iPad Air doesn't care what you throw at it. Video editing, music production, heavy multitasking, it just does it. No fan, no heat, instant on. The app ecosystem is so far ahead of anything on Android for professional creative work that it's not even a conversation. LumaFusion, Logic Pro, the full Adobe suite, optimized, smooth, desktop class in your hands. And with Stage Manager, Apple's windowing system, you can genuinely work. External monitor support, proper keyboard and trackpad integration. I've seen people replace their MacBook Airs with this and not look back. The display is liquid retina, color accurate, gorgeous. The pencil experience is still the best in the business. And the build quality, that aluminum chassis, it feels like a device that costs double. Here's the gut punch. Even if you add the Magic Keyboard at $300, you're sitting at $900 total, which is right in the same ballpark as that laptop you bought, except this is doing more, faster, quieter, and with better battery life. Apple Silicon broke the rules. It made the tablet a real computer, not a toy, not a compromise. The iPad Air M2 is the moment you realize the laptop form factor isn't always the right answer, it's just the familiar one. And Apple priced it to make sure you feel that realization deep in your wallet. And finally, number 1. The absolute best value. The device that most brutally exposes the $800 laptop as a bad decision, the Samsung Galaxy S9 Ultra. This is 14.6 inches of AMOLED excellence, and it lands at about $900 to $1,000, depending on storage and sales, which is right where your laptop lived. The screen is so big, so vibrant, so fluid at 120 Hz that opening a laptop next to it feels like stepping back in time. The Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 for Galaxy is tuned and powerful. The S Pen is the best in the Android world, with latency so low you forget it's not ink. And it's included in the box, not another $100 tacked on. But it's the totality of the experience that seals it. Dex mode on this screen is transformative. You have genuine desktop real estate, multiple windows, proper multitasking, a taskbar, the whole thing. Samsung threw in IP68 water resistance, which no laptop in this price range has. They gave you a micro SD slot for storage expansion, which those thin laptops abandoned years ago. The speakers are tuned by AKG, and they sound better than most laptop speakers at any price. The battery is enormous. I worked, I created, I consumed, I sketched, I took notes in meetings, and at no point did I think, I wish I had my laptop. In fact, I started leaving my laptop at the office because this was better for everything, except heavy coding or hardcore gaming. And for roughly the same money you spent on that laptop, it's a knockout. Samsung built a device that replaces the laptop for probably 80% of users, and they priced it aggressively enough that you have to be in serious denial to buy a mediocre Windows laptop instead. The Tab S9 Ultra isn't just a good tablet, it's the argument that wins the whole debate. It's the device that makes you look at your recent laptop receipt and feel a very specific, very justified kind of regret. So, there it is. 5 tablets, 5 different approaches, all landing on the same truth. The laptop isn't dead, not for everyone, but for that massive middle ground of users who browse, stream, write, present, sketch, and communicate, paying $800 or more for a thin plastic laptop with a dim screen, a spinning fan, and 4 hours of battery is starting to look like a mistake these tablets are happy to point out. The ground reality is this. You can get more screen, more speed, more battery, more versatility, and more enjoyment for the same money or significantly less. You just have to be willing to let go of the hinge.